Hey! Thank you for coming back to my part 2 of my introduction to the series that I'm starting here on YouTube. So my name is Heather again, and not Heather again, it's just Heather. I left off in part 1 talking about what I was going to go over on the series. Hobbies you can do from a wheelchair, easy cooking, going out with friends, talking to strangers when they come up to you and ask you what your situation is, and nutrition. I think that's where I left off. So yeah, continuing with the introduction and giving you kind of a layout of what to expect with my videos. I'm not really going to focus on transferring out of the wheelchair onto a bed or a couch or in a car, or getting from the floor to the wheelchair from the ground, or vice versa. There are plenty of great videos on YouTube that I've seen demonstrating all of those things. Well, I guess I should tell you, I was in an accident 5 years ago, and I fell from about 25 feet onto my back on a kind of like a driveway. I tried to get up, and then I felt all of the feeling in my legs disappear. And then I passed out, and then I woke up in the hospital, and the doctor told me that I was paralyzed, and they did a lengthy operation, and they inserted a Harrington rod into my back. I went through the recovery process. I went to a physical therapy rehabilitation center, which was amazing, and I learned how to start my life, my new life. It really is a new life. It's a new way of thinking, a new way of everything, pretty much. So yeah, that's a little about what happened to me. And getting back to the introduction of the series, plan on seeing stuff on my channel dealing mostly with nutrition, some philosophical things. You know, there's a lot of stuff that happens in your brain after you're in an accident like this. Your whole perception of living in the world is different. Your priority lists of what's important in life change, and it's kind of like having a near-death experience and coming out maybe a bit enlightened in a way. So talk about that stuff, which is awesome. And pain management and maybe medications. What else did I write down here? Yeah. All right. So the last thing I said was medication. I'm going to go through what happened to me. I got into the accident. I went into the hospital. The doctors put me on a whole bunch of pain medication, tons and tons, because they just don't want their patients to be in pain, right? So I went through the rehab process, 2 or 3 months of daily doses, 3 or 4 times a day, of different sorts of muscle relaxers, pain medication. I had this thing called the fentanyl patch that I wore on my back, which was putting in slowly drugs into my system. And I was just in a fog for a long time. It took me quite a while to get off of those medications, almost a year. And it was really difficult. And, you know, I could have stayed on them. You know, there's no reason why I couldn't have stayed on them. I have a serious injury. I'm in a wheelchair. I have a disability. And, you know, a lot of people stay on prescriptive medications for their whole life. I chose to get off of them, and I wanted to take a natural approach to my health, and I wanted to be in control of what was happening with my body chemistry. So I took charge, and I learned a lot about nutrition and ways to be proactive to help myself and my body cope with what was going on, so that I didn't really need to take the medication. The only pain that I have now is sort of a nerve pain, which is like a stabbing, sharp, shooting pain, sometimes horribly debilitating. Sometimes in the middle of the night when I'm trying to sleep, it wakes me up, and it's excruciating. That's the pain that I deal with once in a while, and I've tried a lot of different things to take care of it before my whole natural philosophy of controlling what's going on with my body. So they give you like epilepsy medicine, Neurontin or Lyrica, stuff like that. Even antidepressants, things to just calm your nervous system, so there's not such a flare up. But none of that works. Sometimes it actually made it worse in most cases. So the thing that helps me when I start having those pains is kind of like just stretching, moving around, maybe just, trying to get as relaxed as possible, maybe take a bath, maybe just lay on the bed with my feet up, propped up on a bunch of pillows, and, put an eye patch over my eyes and earplugs in, and just kind of get into the deepest zone of relaxation possible. And then, that kind of helps let it go away. The doctors will tell you that medication helps. Of course, that's their business, and that's what they do. They prescribe medication. That's fine. I'm taking control of my own stuff, and I don't want to take any medication. I don't want my body chemistry left up to any pharmaceuticals. No, thank you. That will kind of segue into the next topic, which I guess this isn't an intro anymore. This is more like going through a couple of things I said I was going to talk about right off the bat. So yeah, the medication that I take, the next topic is nutrition, where it all starts, the building blocks that you put it into your body. The foods are the fuel. You want to put in the clean fuel. So, what was that? There was this crazy bird squawking outside. By the way, I just had a green juice. I went outside and I picked some beet greens and the leaves that grow off the top of the beets, and some chard and some cilantro, and I have a juicer, and I put it in my juicer with the cucumber and some zucchini, and then I squeezed a lemon into it after it was juiced, and grated some ginger and put it in there. And that's why I have so much energy right now. You drink it and your body is like, bing! It feels so amazing. It's so clean and delicious and amazing. Well, I guess I'm going to stop here. The next topic, I'm going to go more in depth. The basics of nutrition for spinal cord injured people. Because you got to deal with things like keeping your bones strong, keeping your circulation strong, keeping your immune system strong, because we have a more sedentary lifestyle, and there's some cards stacked against us, and so we need to take a lot of precautions every day, make really good choices, and alter the way you think about eating and everything, so you can take care of yourself, so you can have a long, healthy, happy life. So yeah, the intro, wrapping it all up. my channel, you can expect me to be talking about things, fun things to do from a wheelchair, hobbies, things that are easy, gardening, cooking, painting, going out with friends, how to deal with interacting with people when they don't really know how to deal with someone in a wheelchair. They've never been around anyone in a wheelchair. It's like they just turn into globs of nonsense and have no idea what to do. So you can make it a little easier. And then I'm going to talk about sleeping habits, ways to help you fall asleep if you have trouble sleeping because of pain or racing thoughts or depression or whatever. Then nutrition, and I just talked about my medications. Oh, and then I'll talk about wheelchair maintenance, because that's the way you get around, right? It's like you got to take care of your wheels. You got to make sure you're, what's the word? Well, obviously I'm not much of a wheelchair technician, but I do know how to change things around and make sure everything's clean. You roll around on the floor, you get hairs and stuff, strings wrapped up in your front casters, and you want to change your bearings once in a while. And it's great to know how to do that yourself. You can just get on the couch and flip your wheelchair upside down and take off your wheels and, you know, get everything cleaned out. And what I have here is a custom wheelchair that I just got. It's pretty thin, so I can fit into like a normal sized bathroom. And I just got a lower backrest. My injury is L1T12 down here. So the backrest is pretty much right where my injury was. And yeah, my first wheelchair for the first few years, the back was up to here, and it had handles on it, so people could push me around. I thought it was making me sit like this a lot, so I wanted to get something with a lower back so I could lean back. I wanted to get something more narrow because my other one was pretty wide, and I was like this, and I was bumping into things a lot. So if you're getting fitted for a wheelchair in the beginning, you know, get a narrow one, because you're not gonna get bigger this way. You're gonna get smaller this way because of atrophy and stuff. So get a small one so you can fit through a lot of doors. You know, I was just going through the house rental process. I rented this great house, but a lot of doors and bathrooms you can't fit into in a wheelchair. It's really inconvenient. And so get a narrow one. They're great. And so yeah, talk about wheelchairs, and then that's about it. Anything else you guys want to know? If you want to hear me gab about stuff, just write something in the comments and I'll be happy to consider it. So my next video will probably be about nutrition. So I hope that you check it out, because it's going to be packed full of amazing information that's going to be really helpful for you and your friends. You can share the information, and maybe you can write something in the comments after that video and share some information with me. We can communicate throughout this whole process. It'll be great. Thanks so much. And I'm really excited about this series, and I hope you are too, and I'll see you soon.